extra, read all about it. Newspapers dead, journalism out the window, bloggers coming next.
Yay, bloggers!
All right, Jimmy Olsen, calm down.
Great Caesar's ghost.
Yeah, but did this take place in the 30s or something?
I tell you, man, this movie gives you, it reminds you what it is to have a real newspaper in your hand, where people using like a metal press and it coming out with newsprint and ink and something you can touch and feel.
Yeah, you were live at that time, right?
And read on the toilet when you have
Wait,
to.
are you talking about the Kindle? I'm confused.
No. What he's talking about is he's talking about all the work that used to go into a business that we now just type up a few words and press publish on. You know what? This is a really, really solid, really cool film about the last days of the newspaper era, because that's what this is.
You know what? You're right. I mean, as much as it's a political thriller or a journalism thriller, it's really about the last days of newspaper.
Yeah, and it takes every opportunity to be a little pissed off about that. This feels like it was written by somebody who used to be a journalist.
So it's like the murder mystery in this movie is who killed the newspaper.
Well, no, it's the thing is this is a film that is about a murder mystery. It's about a woman dies at the beginning, and it's about our intrepid journalists rooting out all the information, getting the story, and finding out who's at the heart of this.
Carla, why'd you say she died? Now you just spoiled it for everybody.
Because she dies in the opening scene, and in the trailer,
Someone's
and on the poster.
Every
Dude,
time-
on the poster, she's lying there dead, saying,
All
who
I
killed
know
her?
is in the Fast and the Furious, we mentioned that somebody died and everybody jumped all over us.
Now, that's
So
because
I don't want
that's
to talk
because
about
it was
anybody
actually
dying.
a main character, an actor,
no.
and you ruined it
No,
right there.
no.
out of the
No,
gate.
this is-
and you
anybody
even said,
dies.
I don't think we're spoiling nothing by saying Michelle Rodriguez gets run over the first 10 minutes of the movie.
Yeah, on this movie, they have a dead body. So don't get mad at us. Get
Yeah.
mad at the poster
They
for this.
got a dead body.
Their radio thing says, "Come see State and Play," where the redhead gets it in the beginning.
Now, if I'm correct, now this is a murder mystery that centers around like a senator's mistress, right? And they killed her with a subway train.
Okay, the possibly senator's mistress, possibly she was killed. It's one of those, there's a story here and everyone wants to know what it is. Russell Crowe, the sort of classic old school Bob Woodward type reporter, is actually friends with the senator played by Ben Affleck in the film. So he wants to investigate it and sort of like get away from the natural tendency of all news to go for the cutthroat, to go for the scammy story,
the trash
the cheap
journalism.
trash angle of it, that a Cub reporter there played by
Rachel McAdams.
Rachel McHottie Pants.
is a big blogger for the paper and wants to kind of do that. He more or less, in the course of his investigation and finding out more information, takes her under his wing as things deepen, things get more complicated, and they find out that there's levels of this that go all the way up to possibly a giant military conspiracy.
But at the same time, there's this whole undercurrent that the blogosphere doesn't have the capability to root out something like this, that it's going to take seasoned journalists, and he takes this blogger under his wing to teach her how real journalists do their work.
You know what? This is already unbelievable to me for three reasons. First of all,
Okay. What's that? You
okay. First of all
right, detective.
Yes, I'm on the case right here. Russell Crowe is a journalist. Don't buy it. Bigger, Ben Affleck, as I like to say, a senator. No way. And then this is about solving a murder using the blogosphere. I mean, this would be a 15-minute movie where a kid would say, "We're trying to find a murder."
Okay.
Google.
No, okay,
I
so-
solved it.
You're not listening to us.
Let me go. First, these are actors pretending to be these things.
I don't buy them.
So it's not like Ben Affleck actually ran for Congress.
Now, hold on.
And second, we just said the bloggers don't solve.
Yeah,
this.
that's
It's
the whole
what
point.
journalists
No.
do.
That they
Now
can't.
let me back up, my man, by letting you know that one, Russell Crowe looks like he just spent 3 days dead and was raked over a grill and then cleaned up with lemon juice. So yes, you do believe that he'd actually work for a paper. And two, Ben Affleck plays a Republican douchebag.
Okay, I buy that.
He could get elected to Congress because we like to elect our Republicans based upon their smile and their hair.
One
Yeah,
of the
that's
most
true.
startling things here is that Affleck sells it totally. There was not there's that moment of like disconnect. You're like, oh, it's Ben Affleck. But he does. He totally sells it. There's a very, there's a scene where he's announcing publicly, basically, or dealing publicly with the death of this woman. And he kind of breaks down. And I went, wow, he pulled off that perfect mix of subtle and believable there.
You go out there and find me evidence linking Sonia's death to Point Core. I will go on the record. I will shout this thing from the rooftops. I can do that.
Well, I'll buy that, but I'll have you know I'm into method acting. I believe Ben Affleck should have ran for senator and been that to play this role. That's the only way I'll buy it. But please, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Not only that, but I know you would enjoy, just for like, there's a great moment during one of the Senate hearings where he totally like punks this other guy who's the leader of this military complex.
Oh yeah, he does.
Well, like some foreign guy?
No. He's just like some corporate. He's almost Dick Cheney. This guy, the way he has his company that's like Halliburton, and has him on the Senate subcommittee hearing floor, and like, you know, he just throws his words back at him. It's one of those where you give it like 3 snaps and like, ooh.
Oh yeah, you can see Ben Affleck get up in your face, bitch.
Exactly.
But what about you, my man? What do you have to add to this stew?
I've been adding to this.
I know. I'm just fucking with you.
Because you always like to. No, this is a real,
Put him in the spot now, Carlo. Now, too late, Leon.
Wrong. Cyrus, what's your opinion?
This is a really cool movie. It's a very 70s style movie. It does not feel at all like a lot of the modern thrillers. It really is inspired by a lot of the 70s stuff. The soundtrack is kind of weird. There's a lot of fast cuts and a lot of scenes in which we're looking at something else while we're listening to people talking. It feels very much, it reminded me at times kind of The Conversation, if you know that great old Coppola film.
What, the Gene Hackman movie?
Yeah. It had those kind of vibes, but at the same time, this was based on a miniseries, a British miniseries, also called State of Play. And it was a 5.5 hour miniseries that they've condensed into 2 hours here, so it's really dense. They don't fuck around. There's no time at which you feel like, wow, that was superfluous. They throw so much information at you that you really do have to sit there and process everything that's coming at you.
That being said, while I did love this as well, I did not think it was flawless. I thought that there's a whole storyline with that felt like we just had to have a love triangle here, where Russell Crowe's character at one point had been involved with Ben Affleck's wife illicitly, played by
Robin Wright.
Yeah, Robin Wright Penn. And it just, thinking about it in retrospect, it's not that it plays out bad, it's just so unnecessary, and it's already a long running time. You could have easily removed that from the plot entirely.
And yet, I have to completely disagree on that point, simply because that moment, that whole kind of triangle, is part of what this film is about. It's about how colored journalism is, and how, at the same time, while it's kind of taking its shots at the blogosphere, we've got this kind of aspect of this primary journalist, the guy who's the main lead in, has this history that colors the whole story and may even color the way we all get the story.
You know what? I can see what you're saying, and the fact that they had a relationship one time, at one point, I could see it playing into that. However, the way they try to bring it up in the modern time, it's just awkward and it doesn't work. I
When
agree
you say
with
modern time, are you talking about like in movies today?
No. I just mean like in the current continuity of this movie. Like, okay, yeah, they have a history, these two characters. But then at the point when she's trying to like bring that history back into play, like, hey, if me and Ben Affleck get divorced, you and I can get back together. I'm like, this is muddying up things in a way that's not helping this movie.
Plus the earlier, relationship, just the fact that they are friends, and that for a journalist is a big bias right there, is more of what they're talking about most times with a bias than the previous relationship between them. You could have dealt without that. My only other problem I can't really talk about because it's at the very end. All I can say is I felt they had already told the story. I felt like all the arcs were complete, and then it felt like it had to add something that wasn't terrible. It just wasn't necessary.
I don't think it's ruining it, but I mean, it's one of the pet peeves I have about every kind of thriller most of the thrillers that they do nowadays. I mean, this was really good. I mean, the acting is great. The story's solid. You follow all the way through. There's no shenanigans.
Helen Mirren as Perry White is awesome.
but you have that moment where it seems like it's over, and then the detective or the reporter goes like, they see something, they go like, wait a minute, let me see that. To the Batmobile. And they have to run and like go to this whole thing and like, aha! That's what it was.
It's a Kaiser Soze
Yes.
moment.
Yeah, it is.
It's the moment where they're staring at the board and they're like, well, I'm glad we solved that. And then the coffee mug drops and
Yeah.
it's like, Kaiser Soze.
Oh yeah, where they look at everything around the room.
Except
and
in that film, that was the point of the entire
it
film.
worked in that one.
And here, it just felt almost like an afterthought. Like, it actually kind of lessened the impact of the story for me.
Somewhat. I mean, I'm just saying, to me, somewhat. It's
Okay,
like,
so
I've seen enough of these
somewhat.
why I know that has to happen.
So that enlightening moment in the movie is one of the weak spots in it because that has always bothered me in a film too. Whenever somebody sees one clue and it's just like and the whole movie's over by that point.
An added level to motivations to what actually happened that if you hadn't had it there, you would have felt thoroughly satisfied by the movie anyway. There was no purpose for it.
This is directed by. Now this is why I'm just joking about all the stuff in the movie. This is actually. It has me interested because, if I'm correct, this is directed by the guy who did The Last King of Scotland, right?
Kevin McDonald?
Yes.
Okay. Well, also, you know what? The movie that kept reminding me of was Michael Clayton. And the guy who wrote and directed Michael Clayton was one of the writers on this.
Okay, so hey, those are all good ingredients for this movie. I thought, and you kind of sold me on it. I like those kind of. What did you say? It was like a 70s
it's like
thriller?
All the President's Men or The Paper Chase.
It's a 70s
thriller.
reporter film.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a film. It's entire. I wouldn't even call it a political film. It deals with politics, but the whole point to it is it's about following a reporter or two reporters as they unravel the mystery, trying to write a story.
And there's
yeah.
incredibly tense moments in this. There was a whole moment, like a sort of like,
yeah.
in a parking garage that I was just like, God damn.
Well, damn, everything takes place in a parking garage. You can't.
Well, if you're a reporter, at some point you're going to be in a parking garage in a movie. That's just how it goes.
If you're a reporter, or if you're looking, for cheap nice entertainment.
Is that what
Hey,
you
man,
find
let's leave your personal life out of this. But
Hey, you know what? Nobody can see what's going on in there, man. I'm telling you.
I'm like, now everything takes place. You get attacked by ghosts, zombies, and anything takes place in a parking garage.
Stay out of parking garages.
And like I
is the
said,
message here.
like this is like an all-star cast. All the actors are really good, and you get a surprise appearance by Jason Bateman, who almost steals the movie.
Yeah.
He has
Oh,
a
really?
really nice little turn of role in here. You know, we're so used to seeing him play a super nice guy, and here he's just this smarmy, dick, and he's hysterical. He does. He and Helen Mirren are really the comedy
Oh, yeah,
aspects
they
of
are.
this film.
Oh, Helen Mirren, I love that. How is she in the movie?
She's
really
wonderful.
good.
You're,
Yeah,
you're going to think she's hot.
I was about to say she
are.
Man,
She kind of was.
hey, look,
Yeah.
look. Let me tell you something. I don't think anybody can fault me. There's a picture of Helen Mirren in a bikini floating out there, and this woman's like about 108. So I mean,
Yeah, but that was when she was like 30. Though.
no, this is a picture that's recent.
Oh, okay.
I mean, out of all
And
the
he knows. He spent enough time examining it.
I sure did.
He'd show it to you, but he can't get the pages apart.
You gotta love those
No.
older women. You can
Actually-
you can titty fuck them with just one tit.
Oh,
It's
come
great.
on, get
Hey, man, this is a family show.
exactly. What are you talking about?
What?
Family show
What?
my ass.
I've listened to a Coco.
It's never going to be
okay?
a family show if you keep saying stuff like
Really?
that.
Nobody listens to it.
Oh,
I know. I'm that guy.
By the way, if you like to see that picture of Helen Mirren, it's stuck on my hand right now.
Oh,
Wow, your stuff works like silly putty. That's kind of gross.
But so, what would you guys give the movie? I mean, it sounds like everybody's very enthusiastic about it.
I'm gonna have to give this a full price. I mean, yeah, I'm complaining about it, but only in the sense of to say this is not a flawless film. But yeah, man, I can't imagine this is about the best thing playing in the theater right now. It's. I'll be surprised if this doesn't come up for some serious notice come Oscar time. Honestly,
Really, you agree with that?
I don't know about the Oscar talk, but I would give it a full price. It's a movie you pay full price to see, and you come out going like, hey, that was good. I mean, either you'll love it or you'll like it.
Yeah, and Cyrus is quick to throw out that Oscar stuff. Did you
well,
say?
just some of the performances are
Didn't you
excellent.
say Fast and Furious was going to get Best Picture this year?
That's what it was. I was
Now-
so drunk that night I
Now,
couldn't even remember.
I definitely feel both of these guys. I'm more on the Leon side simply because I think this is a movie that's got that kind of caliber to it, but will be forgotten come Oscar time. Had this been released in October, November, it would definitely get a few nods. I think getting released this early, it's going to be forgotten, but it is a full price film. It's very enjoyable. It's a great mystery. I think some people are going to be bored by it because there's too much information coming their way, but frankly, those aren't the people I review movies for. So I got to say, it's a full price film.
Yeah, it's funny. One of the things that made me laugh in here, as you mentioned earlier, was Russell Crowe, who just looked like he spent like a month in a convenience store eating all his meals because he just got big.
I mean, is that Russell Crowe for the movie? Because in this movie, he looks like I haven't seen it, but I've seen pictures. He looks like a piece of shit with a 10 o'clock shadow.
yeah,
on
he
it.
looks like a washed up guy from an '80s metal band.
Damn,
he
and a
does.
piece of shit with a 10 o'clock show.
I mean, I'm saying I'm thinking he's supposed to like that for the movie, so it's a compliment.
Right. Well, I mean, we were watching, going. I heard he wants to be Bill Hicks. And,
You look at him,
goddamn,
yeah,
if he
he
doesn't
looks like Bill
start,
Hicks.
not starting to
Does
look
he
a
want to
little
be
bit like Bill Hicks.
Does he want to be Bill Hicks or does he want to be one of the bears from Grizzly Man? Because
Or
He could do either. He's just that good an actor.
He's a cross between them. There'll be some sort of anime version of the story of Bill Hicks, where Bill Hicks is crossed with a grizzly bear.
It is funny because Ben Affleck looks skinnier than usual. It's almost like he sucked some of the fat out of Ben Affleck.
That's true. And I think Rachel McAdams was pregnant because they kept giving her one of those weird high seam dresses and hiding her stomach behind
really? Because
desks.
she was pretty skinny herself.
Yeah, she was really hot.
She was,
Yeah,
well, she's always really hot.
What? You gonna sit up here and pick on Rachel McAdams, put her in a microscope
I said
like
she's
that?
pregnant. What did I say?
How
She was
dare
ugly?
you? I can't do this.
He's hot for Russell Crowe.
Honestly, you're right. Helen Mirren, I would have totally nailed that in this.
There you
movie.
go.
Number one choice.
Did we just break the law?
Nope, that's what you call damn fine reporting.